Here we go again.
Let's do this.
What are we doing, Corey?
We're doing a podcast.
We are. This is episode 15 of the Immigrant
Let's
Mentality
go.
podcast.
Let's go.
Can you believe it? 15.
Every week.
Who would have
get one more in the bank.
Who would have thought that we would have 15 episodes worth of shit to talk about?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to talk about in the world, man. Yeah.
We've covered a lot, but we've barely scratched the surface. But we're here, and we're going to keep talking shit every week. So learn to like it, I guess, because we're not going anywhere.
Let's go.
So last week's episode, we purposefully kept it a little bit on the happier side, a little bit more merry, a little bit less of the stressful, darker things that are happening in the world right now.
Kept it tame.
We kept it very tame. And I think we've had a very clear message from the sports fans that that's not what they want to see. Because no one watched any of it. So
Okay.
we may have to go back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Okay, well,
And tell you how the world's going to end, sports fans.
straight. Not about talking about the world about ended, but I was working last night, and let me tell you this, sports fans, don't you ever come into a restaurant with an Italian shower, just cologne, deodorant, whatever you're using. Keep it real, keep it nice, keep it elegant. There was an extreme smell last night, and it went through the whole place, the whole restaurant. Holy moly, was it? Like, it's not BO. You know what I mean? It's not BO. It's the fragrance. And if I'm just working. But if I smell that rich, fragrant Calvin Klein, Yves Saint Laurent, fake smell while I'm drinking a beautiful wine, red wine, spending time with my wife, friends, family, and I smell that, and it literally stopped me in my tracks. Don't do that, sports fans. Just go elegant.
It's disgusting, isn't it? Too much perfume.
Yeah, man.
Which country produces the people that do it the worst? Who are the worst offenders for it?
Man, I think everyone's a bit capable of it. I don't know. But don't do it.
Where were these guys from?
Canada, I think. But yeah, like,
Were they Indian?
Indian? Nah. Canadian. I would just say Canadian or North American or something. They were younger.
The Arabs are repeat offenders in this regard.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah. Even Europe, man. Like, dude, everyone's done it.
Well, Europe's got a different thing going on.
Everyone's done it or doing it. It's like, fucking...
Southern Europeans have got a different thing going on where they don't really smell too much of cologne because they just got that low-level, funky BO thing going on.
Yeah, I could hear that.
There's no air conditioning, and there's no air conditioning anywhere, so they just let it get hot and sweaty. So by the evening time, if they haven't had a shower yet, they've got a very distinct but subtle musk to them.
Honestly, man, I don't know what's worse, dude. Like, that smell, that fake smell, like air freshener or like that toilet fucking freshener that sprays every 5 minutes. I don't know, man. Like, that shit it's not good. It's not good for you, the people around you. Like, it gets into your... Man, it fucked up my nose, dude. Like, I could only imagine if I was drinking a dope-ass wine or trying to eat some dope-ass food. Dude.
You'd probably rather smell like BO.
In a way, I think so. Well, see, BO's, man, you can smell like sour milk, dog. Like, that could be no good too. How about this? How about this? Just use a little bit of deodorant, a little bit of roll on, a little bit of just one squirt, just maybe not even one squirt, just a half squirt, like something like that. That'd be nice. I don't think there's a time and a place for it. Sorry, I just went a little bit off fucking. I went a little bit off
That
camber.
was quite a personal hot button issue for you there.
Yeah, I feel like I could still smell it. It's like it's locked in there. Anyway,
Is it
that's how I feel. Don't fucking
aggressive
do
and
it. Don't fucking
acidic?
do it. Fake. That's what it was. Fake.
You've been waiting to say that. When they came in, you thought, I'm gonna talk about this.
It
You
caught me
thought,
off guard.
I'm gonna air my frustrations with this live on the podcast.
Yeah, it
I'm
caught
gonna
me
make
off
sure
guard, man.
all the sports fans know that some stinky ass prick came in here with way too much cologne on.
I think the point I'm trying to get across is don't just don't fucking do that. There's so like there was an old lady coughing. She wasn't coughing before that happened. Like it was weird,
I
man.
thought you didn't use deodorant.
I use an all natural deodorant. It has like tonka bean, cardamom, a couple of other natural ingredients. But yeah, that's it.
Why would you use that?
Well, back to the whole fragrant thing, like Speed Stick or Gillette and all that stuff, all that fake smell. It's no good. Like all that fake stuff, aluminium that's in the deodorant as well, just blocks your pores. The, the
Why is aluminium bad?
Why would it be good for your body?
I'm not suggesting that it would be, but to help the sports fans understand, why would aluminium in deodorant be bad for you?
Well, like the back to the fragrance thing in aluminium blocking your pores, so then you can't sweat. You're keeping those toxins in you, and then I don't know, like endocrine disruptors. Studies have been done where you can males are losing testosterone. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how much, don't know percentage, but that is just adding fuel to the fire for bad health, right?
I saw I don't know if I know enough about it to say about it, but I did see that aluminium buildup was directly linked with Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
Have you heard that?
yeah, I could see. Well, I haven't heard that, but I can see that as like a thing, right? Like you're putting metal into your, like, well, not you're not putting metal into your body, but yeah,
Well, you are,
the
right?
yeah, well, yeah,
Why,
you are
why is
technically,
there
but it's like
aluminium? Why is there aluminium in deodorant?
I think it is to block or suppress sweat, which that's what it does. So it keeps you smelling clean longer.
But there's a difference between an antiperspirant and a deodorant, right?
Like, yeah, like a roll on. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I haven't used spray in years, man. I've just been using roll on.
You can get sprays for both. I don't know. We're not really bringing many facts so
Well,
far.
no, it's not so many facts. It's just over use of those items. And I'm not saying you go out and buy a fucking natural deodorant stick. They cost a lot. You can buy Old Spice for cheaper. I'm just saying I'm not using Old Spice. I'm not using that fake smelling stuff. Fuck that. It's all chemicals and shit, right? You're rubbing that under your armpits. It's a sweat gland. Fuck that.
You know, as I get older, and as I see more and more, and live more and more, and experience more and more, what I realize is that the all natural way is almost always the better way.
Yeah.
We have such we have such a arrogance as a species that we think we can create things that are better than the natural version.
Yeah.
I think that we have so many examples of this. Like I bet that between you and I now we could name 10 examples. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like food, right?
Yeah. Like a Beyond Burger.
Yeah, we the amount of arrogance and hubris required to think that a fake meat burger is going to be as nutritious for you as a real one is just obscene.
It's
Like we
madness.
think we think we've mastered chemistry, but I think we're so we're so close to the beginning of understanding anything that we're nowhere near. We're so far away. We have no idea what we're doing. And I think we're it. Think about um, any situation where there was a natural product and we've invented a synthetic product. I feel
Yeah.
like the synthetic product has a worse long term effect for you.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with
Like
that.
like uh I think that one thing that we moved away from was all natural clothes. And we all wear synthetic clothes
Yeah.
now. I don't think they're
Yeah,
good
like
for you.
hemp. Like
You
hemp
know,
clothing as well.
hemp, cotton, wool,
Yeah.
fibers like this, right?
Yeah.
That are natural fibers, and I don't think we fully have come to appreciate the benefit of those natural fibers versus the synthetic plastic clothes that we wear.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a
You
few
know,
shirts from I had a few
um,
shirts that were they said in the tag like aluminium is used into the clothing to help wick sweat away. I didn't really understand it, but now it makes more sense now as I get older, seeing that be like aluminium in deodorant to help you smell better, aluminium in shirts to wick sweat away. It's all cosmetic. It's all just trying to be beautiful while you're trying to exercise. Get sweaty, get dirty, get
I think, yeah, we think that we're so civilized by creating these things by trying to play God, but we're so far away from understanding things in the first place. I think vaping is another good one, right?
oh man.
We've we've railed on vaping before, but do you like for us to sit and think that we've created something that's less dangerous than a real thing? I think that we're playing with fire there.
Yeah, and it's so accessible for the children as well, or children, or kids, or teenagers, right? Like for a developing brain
We
is like,
well, I saw that you could. I saw a bus here in London the other day that had an advert on it for vape,
oh
and
wow,
I didn't realise that was allowed. I thought that would have been
yeah, because
banned.
they don't do it with cigarettes now, right?
You can't advertise cigarettes,
Yeah, you can't.
rightly
No.
so, and but you can advertise for vape.
Yeah,
We're
that's
playing with
sneaky.
fire with this. We're playing with fire with this vape shit. We're playing with
Yeah,
fire with this vape shit, and I'm worried that we will not see the real consequences for another 20 or 30 years.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be, yeah. It's coming, but it's a while, but it's coming. We'll see it.
Yeah, yeah. Because think about who's vaping now, and it's mainly young people, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
these young people are generally invincible, right? Until they reach 40 and 50, and then we see what they're made of. And
Hopefully it's just a fad. Hopefully at that point they just go, you know what, 2025, they go, fuck it, we're not going to do it anymore, and then just move on. Maybe it's not as addictive, but I don't know. I think they can make it more potent, more addictive, more. Yeah.
can you think of one example where the synthetic version is better than the natural version.
Oh, yeah, I got one. Have you done salvia?
No,
It's like synthetic weed.
what's that?
It's like
Oh,
lab
is it?
weed.
How do they
It's
make that?
power. I have no, dude. I'm not a fucking scientist, man. But I remember smoking it, dude. It was crazy. I don't think you could do it long
But
term.
is that
Maybe it's not,
just?
but true, true. Maybe it's not better. Maybe it's not better than actual weed because you can only do it a few times before you might actually go insane. I had
But
fun.
is it synthetic or is it just made more potent by
I think it's like, yeah,
concentrating the active?
no, it's definitely chemically made. I smoked it. I smoked it in a joint with weed, with regular weed, and man, it wasn't. It was not the same. But even then, we just talked about something that I thought was better. Still, I definitely think weed that would be the choice because you could lose your fucking shit on that. I am not endorsing salvia.
But let me get this straight: you are endorsing marijuana,
Yeah,
cannabis,
yeah, because gummies are good. I don't really no like me and you actually
illegal in this country.
me and you have smoked on Lake Louise. That was nice.
Do we?
Yeah, yeah. We were sitting on a snowbank and people were just skating around.
Oh, I remember that day. We
Couple of
went running
beers.
on the lake,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
then we had a couple of glasses of wine that night as well.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Yeah,
But the
that
less
was a
said
good
about
time.
that, the better.
That was a good
That was a
time.
good night. Okay, so that was in the that I remember that time. That was March 2020, and it genuinely felt like the end of times.
I think it was the 19th because 20th it was game over lockdown.
Yeah, so it genuinely felt like the end of the world. We had no idea what was coming. We just knew that something big was coming.
We knew we had to get fit. We had to smoke dope and then have some wine. That's all we knew. We were like, should we getting fit for the apocalypse? But then we got to be cool for the apocalypse.
That was a strange time.
Yeah.
That was a fun time to be alive.
But back to dope. Like I run a lot now and do a lot of cardio. There's no chance I can smoke it. Like if I smoke like two puffs, I'm fucking done. And then I can feel it in my chest and shit. Like fuck that. Gummies. Oh man, dude, edibles are the future. I'm sorry your country hasn't followed suit.
Well, I'm sober as a judge, so is that the saying sober as a judge or is it sober as a priest? I think it's sober as a
Uh,
judge.
it's sober as a judge.
Right, and I'm sober as a judge, so I'm way out of it. It's probably why I'm so amped up.
Just the veil has been lifted. You just fucking
Yeah.
wide
Well,
awake.
is this a factor then? Things like alcohol and cannabis just generally make people more docile. Maybe not in the moment with alcohol. Alcohol can amp you up in the moment, but if you regularly consume alcohol or cannabis, generally you're more docile, and it's a sedative. And
Yeah.
what a great way to make everyone sedate and not worry about things and not question things, because you know what? We're going to go out for a couple of beers on the weekend.
So you because you brought two substances into one topic there, I might have to disagree with weed because yes, there's weed that makes you sleepy and it's a sedative and all this stuff, but there's also weed that makes you think, and weed creates paranoia. Weed creates schizophrenia. Like you if you're on some weed that's making you a little bit paranoid, you're constantly thinking about what's happening in the room, what's happening. What did you say 10 years ago to that little kid? Like, like you just start thinking about everything. So, as far as your thoughts go, I think you maybe are a little bit more switched on with some types of weed. Sativa being that. Sativa will make you think and be a little bit paranoid versus indica, which will make you a little bit sleepy, a little bit more
No, but
relaxed.
I'm not talking about in the moment necessarily. I'm saying just they're great cultural sedatives. They allow
Yeah.
people
Okay.
to take the edge off of their situation. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
how many times do people self medicate with these things? They have a bad day at work maybe, and instead of questioning why they're doing what they're doing, are they on the right path in life? They think, oh, I'll just go out for a couple of drinks and we'll bury this. I won't think about it.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah. Just sweep it
sedative
under
in
the
that
rug.
way. It
Yeah. Just sweep
keeps,
it under the rug. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no like
What
self
are you
reflection. It's
doing
just
this
like, well, fuck it.
weekend? Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. You could spend a whole weekend drinking and
Yeah.
look back and think, I had a great time. What a great weekend. Or you could do the exact same and you could, like, essentially, if you've just spent the whole weekend drinking, you haven't achieved anything. You haven't done anything with your time.
No.
But you've placated yourself. You've enjoyed yourself by just having this experience. But you haven't done anything. You haven't created anything. You haven't achieved anything. Whereas if you just sat at home and did nothing all weekend, you wouldn't feel like you'd had a great weekend, even though you've achieved the exact same amount. So that's why I say alcohol is such a cultural sedative that it
Yeah.
just keeps people moving along in and content with the whole situation because they've got this crutch that they can always fall back on whenever they've had a day to forget.
That was deep.
And we've gone deep again. We're back. We're so back. We're so back, baby. Hey, do you want to go
Yeah.
really deep?
Oh shit. Go. Fire it up.
What do you think? What do you think about what happened in Russia this week with Alexei Navalny? You heard of him?
No, I didn't see anything this week. I didn't see anything about this.
This is your news in Canada again. Not. Do you know who Alexei Navalny is?
No.
So a few years ago, he was a big political opponent to Vladimir Putin, which doesn't play very well. Anyway, I gotta check this. Bear with me 1 second, sports fans. Because so he went to jail.
For what?
That's what I'm looking up now. I know, bear with us, sports fans. Sorry, I want to get this right, you see.
I can put some elevator music on if you want.
Okay, no, I've got it. Okay. So basically, he was a big critic of Putin and the Putin regime, but then he went to jail for embezzlement and fraud.
Okay.
So they sent him out to a jail in Siberia
Whoa.
for a long, long time. It's like 20 years or more.
Whoa.
Basically, it shut him up and it meant that he could never be a threat again.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was all a few years ago. This week, they announced that he died in jail.
Like he died this week in jail.
He died this week in jail.
Okay.
Now, they haven't, there are suspicious circumstances. They haven't done things like they would normally do, like they haven't allowed the family to see the body or anything like that. The suspicion is that he was ordered to be killed by Putin.
Because he was getting out, like in a few months or weeks.
There was there was no. He was not getting out anytime soon.
So why off him then?
But well, that's a good question. That is a good question. Why off him? Because I don't think this. I don't think it plays very well for Putin. A week ago, he did an interview with Tucker Carlson where he tried to show a peaceful side, and then a week later, he's killing political prisoners.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there that we don't know. But what really irked me is the double standard that we have in the West for reporting on these things. Because all that I've seen on the news is about how Putin's brutal and he's killing his political enemies in jail.
Yeah.
But then where's the outcry when you have Jeffrey Epstein in jail? Definitely didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
Where's the coverage of that? We're so biased in this country. We moralize and we grandstand and we're so quick to point at other people and say they're evil, they shouldn't be doing that, when we're doing the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Do you believe that
I don't know.
Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Oh man, they keep coming out with all sorts of shit, but I don't know. They said that it's like fuck. It's like when you go to lock up, and they're like, right, you can keep your shoes on, but take your shoelaces out. It's like, bro, I'm fucking heavy. Like, I'm not gonna hang myself with fucking shoelaces. You know what I mean? So like, for Jeffrey Epstein to get into that position and hang himself all by himself. I don't know. I don't think he was a part of Cirque du Soleil, that's for sure. I think
There's
he had
rumours that he's still alive.
probably. And same with Evil Knievel and Tupac and fucking DMX. They're all having a party in fucking Mount Rushmore.
I need you to elaborate on that.
I'm just going there. That was that was just in my
Say
brain.
that again.
It's like when all
Evil
like
Knievel. Evil Knievel's definitely dead, no?
how the fuck do you know?
Because the guy would be about 100 by now.
No, I was in the 30s, wasn't it? He'd be close to 100, I guess.
Guy was
it
really
in the
old. I
30s?
think he was big in... Evil Knievel was big in the 70s. My dad was a huge fan. Evil Knievel used to jump incredibly long distances on bikes. And to this day, my dad says that no one has matched Evil Knievel, even though they jumped twice as far. He said he did it on really heavy... He said that because Evil Knievel did it on a really heavy bike, it counts for a lot more than what these guys now are doing. That's
So, if Evil Knievel is doing it on a really heavy bike and jumping 50 buses, when Travis Pastrana gets a carbon fiber ultra light bike and jumps 100 buses, Evil Knievel's still the man.
yeah. I think that's called dad logic, isn't it?
I fucking love your dad. Your dad's the man.
I think that the thing is, as I get older, I can see the logic in it because I think we're obviously biased to the things that we grew up with, and he grew up watching
Yeah.
Evil Knievel, so of course he thinks Evil Knievel is the best. Like
Yeah, it's his hero.
the new version, yeah, the new current version of a thing is never going to be as good as the one that was your hero when you were growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
So he thinks Evil Knievel is the best.
Well, that's actually kind of funny that you say it about Evil Knievel, but my old man was always just like, he's like, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. No one will ever beat them in acting. They are the best actors, good dudes, like action heroes, superstars, movie superstars. And then The Rock, then The Rock comes along. You know, Jason Statham comes along.
Yeah.
Fucking Keanu Reeves doing John Wick comes along. It's like, Dad, what about these guys? Nah, fuck that.
I fucking hate the John Wick movies.
Why?
Completely senseless.
Dude, they're so fucking cool.
Dude, there's such low IQ
The
entertainment.
first one especially.
All Listen, listen. It's so boring. They kill this guy's dog, so
Boring.
he goes and kills every single person. All it is
His
90 minutes
wife,
of shooting. You need a
his
story.
wife,
You need a
his wife
story. You
died.
need you need a background.
It's a story.
John
His
Wick
wife,
was the most
his wife
boring
fucking
movie I've
died.
ever seen.
His wife died, and then he gets a dog from his dead wife, raises the dog a little bit to only have it killed by fucking Russian mobsters. So of course you're gonna fucking go out and fucking offer huge amount of dudes, and then they take the second movie. Still got his Mustang. Like he needs his Mustang, so he gets to he gets to go get it. Now I agree with you that the third one gets a little bit. It gets a little bit fuckery, and then the fourth one. I'm yet to see the fourth one. I'm gonna have a couple of gummies that day and watch the fourth one. But the first two, great movies. It's movies that you can just like
I'd rather watch.
unplug your brain.
I'd rather watch Notting Hill than watch fucking John Wick.
Don't have a brick wall in front of me so I can just bounce my fucking head off the wall.
John Wick is the worst movie. I watched John Wick, right? And it was probably the worst movie I've seen in the last 20 years.
But what do you look for in a movie? Romance? Fucking
It needs a bit of everything. Okay, put it like this. I watched recently Inglorious Bastards.
an amazing movie. Great movie.
Yeah, it's Tarantino at his best. I think it might be his best.
I
Anyway,
disagree.
that's not important. The point is, Inglorious Bastards has a tremendous amount of violence, just like John Wick. But what separates it from movies like John Wick is that there's a real story and there are real characters, and you feel the timeline move along, and it's not just shooting for shooting's sake. You know what I actually really like about that movie is that most of the movie isn't even in English, but you don't notice it. It's so well written, it's so well put together, it's so well shot and acted that you don't even realize half the time that they're not speaking in English.
Yeah. Well, that's Tarantino. He's good. He's like, I don't know who the director was of John Wick, but Tarantino's fucking awesome. And he gets the fucking good guys, the good fucking actors that fucking makes good movies, right? But John Wick, Keanu Reeves,
Tarantino,
all you got to do is just pull out the part of your brain, sit on the couch, and just take an hour and a half, 2 hours, just to fucking watch something. It's nice. It's nice to be like, ooh, shiny
dude,
lights every now and then.
Kevin the dog could direct a better movie than John Wick.
Right?
Listen. All I'm saying
I've
is
had it up.
Quentin Tarantino is the goat.
Yes. And Scorsese.
It's hard to pick between those two, isn't it? I think that if you had to look at a body of work, Martin Scorsese has more smash hits. But I think that the very best of Quentin Tarantino is as good as movies get.
You know Quentin Tarantino only has one more movie to do, yeah?
Well, I thought that he only had one more movie to do about 10 years ago, but he
No.
keeps churning them out.
So he has
I
10
thought The Hateful
movies.
Eight was going to be the last one.
No. 10. No, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was the last one to date. There's one more. Spanning from Reservoir Dogs to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there's 9 movies.
Yeah, I thought he was only going to do 8.
No. So whatever he's doing for that last one, man, it's going to be a fucking banger.
Blockbuster.
Do you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, and I saw it, but I didn't love it, and I realized I've been told I didn't know the story before seeing the movie, and I've been told that
Okay.
if you knew the story before seeing the movie, it was an amazing movie. But if you didn't know the story, it's hard to follow along with.
Yeah, I never knew the story. Well, Charlie Manson, but not the full story. But like, I watched it and I was like, oh, it's a cool movie. And then like maybe a few months later, I was like, oh, I'll see if I can watch it again and see if I can just pick out any other things. And I had a great time with it on the second time.
Maybe I should watch it again. But here's the thing: given the choice, am I better off watching that again or watching Pulp Fiction again?
Yeah.
Because
But
Pulp Fiction is incredible.
you've probably seen Pulp Fiction 5 or 6 times in your life. You probably know every
Or more.
scene. Yeah, or more. You probably see every scene. As soon as someone says Pulp Fiction, your brain starts going through scenes, and you piece the movie together. And then when you're
What's the
watching it, you're
first
like,
scene? What's the first scene you think of when you think of Pulp Fiction?
the Royale cheese.
Really?
Yeah, when they're in the car and they're having that backwards and forwards, and then they're going up into the elevator, and then they get to the top, and they're still talking about like France, the royal cheese, and all that shit, and then they knock on the door, and then it's game on. I know what you're gonna say
See, that's not
because
the first one.
I know what
Well,
you're
go
gonna
on.
say
No, go on.
because
I want to.
you're a filthy little man.
No, I'm curious to see what you think I would think of first.
Well, you're probably thinking about Zed.
No, I mean that scene is probably in the top five. But I think a lot about the scene where they go to the restaurant and he has a $5 shake
Oh, great! Yeah, great! Yeah, great scene.
because a $5 shake now would be a bargain. I don't think you can get a milkshake for $5 anywhere anymore.
No, no chance. Probably not even at McDonald's.
And he was outraged that it would cost $5. He asked in the movie, "Do they put any bourbon in there or anything?" The $5 shake. So that one I think of. I also think about the one where they're cleaning out the car and they're
I
talking
was
about how good the coffee
just
is.
about. I was just about to say when the wolf comes and he's like sitting down and
Because,
he,
well,
he
no,
gets
not the
them to
wolf
do
part
no,
necessarily.
but like the cleaning of the car and that whole like around the
But
house.
the part where Quentin Tarantino himself makes a cameo,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and who's the guy? Is it Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta,
And Samuel L.
and
Jackson says, "This is great coffee. This is really gourmet shit."
it's that real gourmet shit.
And Tarantino's like, "I know." It's like, I know how fucking good the coffee is. Okay, I buy it.
Who plays the wolf?
And then he goes on to lament.
I can't think of who plays the wolf. Dude, I can't think.
You know that if you heard the name, you'd know it.
Oh, I fucking. You keep the sports fans entertained. I'll get it going.
But yeah, I really love Pulp Fiction. It's a great movie. I don't know if it's ever been. I don't know if there's ever been a movie quite like it. In its scope.
No, and even the way that it's um, like the way that it's done, where it's like the middle is the start, the end is the start is the end, and the end is in the middle. Like it's all moved around. Like it's the placement is crazy.
Strange, isn't it? Speaking of
Harvey
Quentin
Keitel.
Tarantino, listen to this.
It's Harvey Keitel.
Listen to this. Speaking of Quentin Tarantino, have you seen the video where he shares a breakdown of why he thinks Top Gun is a gay movie?
I have not.
You've seen Top Gun, right?
Which one? The first one? Yeah, I mean, of course. I've seen the first and second.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding?
So Top Gun, the Tom Cruise character, right, is in a battle with his own homosexuality, and he doesn't know
Okay.
which way to go, right? And you have two sides in Top Gun. There's the girl.
Okay. Yeah.
What's her name? Let me
Fuck.
get this right.
The character's name? Here, you keep the sports fans going. I'll get on the fact checking.
So there's the girl, right? Top
Yeah.
Gun, played by Kelly McGillis.
Yeah. Oh, and Meg Ryan was Bradshaw's missus. Yeah.
Let me look at the cast of Top Gun.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. What do you want?
Okay, so Kelly McGillis in Top Gun is the straight way. Okay, he's enticed by Kelly McGillis. He's clearly interested, but he's not entirely sure he wants to go that way. And then you have the Iceman, and Iceman represents the gay way. So he's in this battle, but he doesn't know which way to go. And there's a moment where um, the Kelly McGillis can see that he's going the gay way. After they go and play football on the beach and stuff, you can see he's going towards the gay way. So in the next scene, she dresses like a man. She's got the aviators on, she's got the bomber jacket on, she's dressed like a man. And she catches his eye, and that's where she hooks him back to the straightway. And you see at the end when they go and fight the Russians, at the end of it, they're all hugging and kissing at the end of it. And what does the Iceman say to him?
I don't know. What does he say?
Tell you.
I'm trying to think now. What does he
He
say?
says, he says, "You can ride my tail anytime."
Yeah, that's so right. Brilliant.
So in conclusion, at the end of Top Gun, Tom Cruise has gone the gay way.
Oh, that's so funny.
You've got to watch it. Quentin Tarantino gives an amazing breakdown of it.
That's
That guy's a
funny.
genius, Tarantino.
He might be a cinema genius, but he's got a bit of a foot fetish thing going on there. Do you know about
Well,
that
that's
one?
that's the allegation, right?
What do you mean
Yeah,
that's
I
the allegation? That's for real, dude.
well,
You not see
I don't
you
know
not seen
him. I don't
Dust
know
Till
him.
Dawn? Okay. You not seen Dust Till
No,
Dawn? You haven't seen Dust Till Dawn?
no,
Oh,
no.
bro.
I'm too busy watching Notting Hill over and over.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. So, without spoiling it too much, um, Quentin Tarantino is the director of this movie. So he's directing and writing, producing, whatever, right? And he's literally laid out the whole fucking scene. He's got Salma Hayek, and he's like, you know what? If I'm painting this picture, I'm going to have Salma Hayek in the early 90s looking like an absolute fox with a python wrapped around her neck. I'm going to have her walk towards me down like this stripper stage, and she's going to put her foot on Tarantino's chin and then pour Jack Daniels down her leg into his mouth. So that's like the painter being like, you know what, I'm going to paint me taking Jack Daniels from Salma Hayek's foot. I don't want I don't want George Clooney doing it. I want me to do it. Dude, that's the thing.
Well, and also there are a couple more feet references, right? Like in Pulp Fiction, they
Oh
question
yeah,
whether it was legit or not to throw him
the
out
foot
of a
massage.
building because of a
Yeah,
foot massage.
yeah.
And then in Inglorious Bastards, there's the moment where SS Colonel Hans Lander is putting the shoe onto her foot,
Yes, yes,
but you get there's such a pristine close up of the foot. The
yes.
foot is so important. So there is evidence that Tarantino has some kind of foot fetish.
100%, dude. You have to watch Dust Till Dawn because it's him at the end of the foot. That's the great thing. He's the director, the writer, the producer, and he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take this. Hey, Selma, do you mind just pouring some Jack Daniels down your leg?
He's
Yeah,
loving it.
he's
He
loving
can't
it.
get enough of it.
Brilliant,
I haven't
brilliant.
seen that. I haven't seen it.
Well, you should,
Maybe I should.
and you definitely shouldn't bring that John Wick mindset into that movie either. There's some
Did you
shooting. There's
actually
some
enjoy John Wick?
fucking around. I like John Wick, bro. It's easy movie. It's fucking cool. It's got Keanu Reeves and some other cool actors and shit. It's fine.
Okay, what are everyone raves about Keanu Reeves, but what are his good movies?
Point Break. Have you seen Point Break?
Never seen it.
How the fuck do we even start a podcast together, bro? Do we even have like similarities?
Yeah, we like run in.
Point Break. Okay,
But
Point
no, it's
Break.
good because it
Patrick,
means we can.
look. Point Break. Patrick Swayze, Keanu
Okay.
Reeves, uh, Gary Busey, uh, Anthony Kiedis, Flea. Pretty sure Flea's in it. It's about bank robbers and
Who's
surfers.
Flea?
The bass player for Red Hot Chili Peppers. Do you fucking know anything?
Do you think I know bass players for bands?
Get your head
I
out of the
barely
darkness.
know
Get your head
lead
out of the darkness.
singers for bands.
Get your head out of the darkness, okay? And come to the real life, okay? Music and happiness and surfing and Point Break and Keanu Reeves, okay? Get back to real life, okay? Great movie.
I don't know if I believe you.
Oh, okay. Matrix. What about the Matrix?
The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, The Matrix. The Matrix might be the best movie of all time.
And guess who's in it? Your boy Keanu, son.
Yeah, I know, but I was asking, is there anything other than The Matrix that he's done that's really good? Because The Matrix is spectacular, right? It's as good as movies get. And I don't know if it was meant to be prophetic, but it's so applicable to our actual world.
Like now. Like today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it
And
was. I think it was
it's so
the test of
easy.
time. I think it's designed that way, yeah.
Well, there's talk as well. You know the brothers that wrote and directed the movie?
The Wachowski brothers, I think.
Yeah, I think they're the Wachowski sisters now.
Huh? No way.
Yeah, I think they're women. I think they're women now.
What? Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think they're women now. Anyway, there's I've heard reviews that say that the Matrix, the whole premise of the movie, was nothing to do with control necessarily, but it was all to do with gender and gender fluidity and the interchangeability of gender.
Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah, no, I
Hey,
don't I don't make things up, you know.
I never even heard of that. Wild.
Yeah, yeah. Were they the Wachowski sisters now? Like, how
Yeah.
wild is that they both transgender?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
You know who else is transgender?
It's 2024, man. It's 2024. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Well, you know this one. Ellen Page
Ellen Page. Ellen
is
Page.
now Elliot Page.
I don't know who Ellen Page is.
Ellen Page had a role. Ellen Page had a role in Trailer Park Boys.
Okay. Playing who?
Ellen Page, now Elliot Page, played Jim Leahy's daughter.
Oh. Oh, yeah. And she's now a dude?
Didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, the argument is that she was always a man.
Okay.
If you're
She
going
was
to be
playing-
politically correct about it,
And she was playing a woman for the
he was playing.
he was playing a woman in the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's complicated,
So kind of-
isn't it? Trying to keep up.
No,
with
no, it's kind of like Mrs. Doubtfire, isn't it? It's like Robin Williams playing a woman. Is that it?
it. No.
Or there was an actual operation?
I don't think it's exactly the same. Yeah, Elliot Page was born Ellen Page
Oh, okay. Roger.
and played in a bunch of movies as a woman.
Right.
I think that he played a woman in Inception. Am I confusing you?
No, but I'm following. Elliot.
But is now
I know this. She's in the They are in the Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Is it they or
Yeah,
is it he?
yeah. Because the same sort of
You gotta be careful.
thing.
You know,
Yeah,
you know that in
she's Canadian. He's
Canada,
Canadian. They
if
are Canadian.
you, yeah, yeah, he's Canadian. But if you in Canada deliberately misgender this person, you could go to jail.
Well, I don't want to go to jail, so I'm
So
trying
you
to get
better
this
tread
right.
carefully, Corey.
I'm trying to get this right. But yeah, the Umbrella Academy, great little TV show on Netflix.
What's
Oh
that?
yeah, and it's like multi-dimensional kind of levels, like uh, apocalyptic kind of TV show. They get sent back in time, then they got to come forward. They get kind of some superpowers, but not really
So not
superpowers.
not like so not like Notting Hill.
Definitely not like Notting Hill. No, no, Notting Hill's terrible.
Shut your whole mouth.
Gas.
We might have to
Oh
end
yeah,
it there.
yeah, yeah. I feel offended.
That's okay. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Uh, Great chat, my friend.
Thanks, sports fans, for watching.
We'll see you next week. Stay tuned.
When will we see the sports fans again?
I don't know. I don't know, but we will. We will.